Good afternoon, curling fans, and welcome. It is another glorious day in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Some beautiful views of the city. And it's a great day for another session of the BK Tires and OK Tire World Men's Curling Championship 2021 as we find ourselves at Canada Olympic Park. And in the beautiful Winsport Arena, the home of this World Championship. Today's session, number 14, is Team Japan versus Scotland. On the ice for Team Japan today, lead Shinya Abe. Second, Yasumasa Tanida. Third, Tetsuro Shimizu. And their skip, Yuta Matsumura. And for Team Scotland, lead Hammy Mcmillan. Second, Bobby Lammy. The third, Grant Hardy. And their skip, Bruce Mowat. And here are the standings so far. Norway still at the top of the leaderboard, 6-1. We have two teams, RCF and Sweden at 6-2, followed by Canada, Scotland, and Switzerland at 5-2. You can start to see the separation a bit with a couple teams still at 3 losses, and then Denmark, Japan at 2-5, China, Korea 2-6, and Germany and Netherlands at 1-6 and 1-7 respectively. So these are the games that are going on session 14. Sheet A, Team Germany 1-6 versus Team Denmark. Our feature game, Japan and Scotland. Over on Sheet C, we have Team Canada at 5-2 taking on Team Italy at 4-3. And on Sheet D, Norway at 6-1 with playing Switzerland at 5-2. And my name is Melissa Saligo, and joining me in the broadcast booth is Olympic and world champion Kevin Martin.
Well, thank you. Yes, and Melissa and I, of course, we're teammates back in the Olympic Games in we shouldn't maybe say the year, but 1992 in Albertville, France, a few years ago.
We were both really young then, though, Kevin.
That's right. Looking forward to this game. Got two terrific teams, and Scotland a little bit ahead in the results category, but I really do think that Team Japan is probably stronger than what their record shows, in my opinion. So I expect a really good outing for them today.
I fully agree. I did commentate on their game earlier today, and they just struggled, especially their back end struggled quite a bit. But I've seen a few of their games, and they really play, and they're just on that wrong side of the inch, or a couple, just not putting that rock in the right place. So I'm sure they had a good chat with their coach, and I know they're going to be wanting to bounce back this game against a very tough opponent in Scotland.
The Gorilla Tape's just too sticky. Oh, I've got some Gorilla Tape on.
By virtue of the last stone draw, it looks like Team Scotland will have hammer here in the first end. And to get us started, 41-year-old Shinya Abe, lead for Team Japan. One of the things I noticed earlier, Kevin, when watching Team Japan, is they like to play with rocks in play. They like to be a little bit aggressive. but they almost waited, if they got into trouble, they almost waited one rock too many to bail out.
And against Team Scotland, that would probably be a bad idea. They also like a lot of rocks in play, and they don't mind throwing the high hard one to try to score a bunch at a time. So it's a little bit of a scary competition for Team Japan.
And this is the Scottish lead, Hammy Mcmillan, 28 years old.
Yep.
Hammy's a very strong player, has been for, well, of course, his father as well, very strong player, and Hammy Jr., strong. What he brings, I think, other than his shooting ability, though, he's an incredibly strong brusher. Him and his partner Bobby are incredible in the world of curling as far as strength with their brushing.
Yeah, they really are remarkable. So first stone goes just tight of the rings. Corner guard thrown by Scotland. Now Team Japan just trying to get around that center guard. Again, trying to keep the play in the middle.
This has plenty of weight on it, though. This one wanting to be in front of the tee. Don't think it'll stop in time, though. A little bit heavy, so not too bad, but a bit of a miss. No problem getting by that one. Just a little bit of a weight issue. Got by 6-8 inches. Still would have got by had the weight been proper. Team Scotland ignoring because it's behind the tee line. Had that have been in the top four, Team Scotland may have played towards it, but now going around the corner guard, trying to set up for a possible crooked number, a 2 or a 3. Wanting to stay in front of the tee. That's exactly what they do. That's a perfect shot.
That's a great shot. So this is a bit of a tactic change for Team Japan. In the previous games, we would have seen them actually come again towards the middle. Now they're actually going to follow that yellow Scottish stone to the outside.
Yeah, the reason being is the center guard is very, very tight. Other rock behind the tee. If you did go around the center, it's a very short run back triple, and you're in big trouble. So I know it's very unusual to come around the corner guard, but because of the first rocks being not quite perfect, it sort of forces you into it. But that's another over curl, so that's another slight miss.
Backlight, can do this as well. I was thinking round, but what have you got of this? I've got third. Okay.
Those runs okay. Those runs not bad either. Yeah.
Mind this.
I'm okay with this. What is this side doing? You going through it?
Just nice.
Okay, like ice.
Just nice. So hack weight, come around, bump out the red stone, sit 2.
This is Bobby Lammy throwing second stone for Scotland.
Wait there.
Just through!
Clean.
Just
Clean.
through!
Oh, clean. Oh, clean.
I think they're yelling just through.
Just through, so that should be just fine. They had lots of room and nice lightweight, so those things usually match up pretty well. Hate to have lots of room and then have the sweepers go, we're a little heavy. That doesn't work out. Nice shot.
Great shot.
Just through the
Perfect
house.
weight.
Nice shot.
And a really good chance already in this end. You can just see the rock placement by Scotland's been a bit superior to Team Japan at present time.
Yeah, Sumasa Tanita with his second stone in this first end.
Yes. Yes.
And that's a huge key, Kevin, because that's exactly what we saw in the previous game, is they just weren't getting those rocks in the right spot. And you can't afford to make too many little mistakes because they add up.
Well, they certainly add up against the best teams in the world, that's for sure.
And here's the rules of play. 6 ends minimum the teams have to play. 38 minutes of thinking time per team. And each of the teams getting 1 60-second timeout.
Similar weight, bud.
Hit more!
Clean.
Fraction more!
Yep.
No, same way! Same way!
Yep.
Trying to get the little roll here. Doesn't really need to roll buried, but just roll a little bit under would be perfect. Line's excellent.
Set.
Wow.
Nice, Bobby.
Rolled completely buried, so that may set up a freeze. So that, although it looks nice, it rolled maybe a little further than Team Scotland would have liked. Would have been good to leave maybe half showing on the outside.
This is Tetsuro Shimizu. He really struggled in this morning's game, so he's going to do his best to bring his A game today.
Certainly has lots of experience. Has been to many world championships, and of course the Olympics with Morozumi. So needing a better game, but line's excellent on this shot, wanting to freeze right to the face of the yellow. Terrific.
That's a great first stone.
Just to get on a good flow.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And that's really what Japan never did earlier. They didn't get on a good flow. Still made a ton of shots, but just couldn't take any advantage over Team Norway that they played earlier.
Weight's nice. Yeah, weight's good. Back
This is Grant Hardy, 29-year-old.
Hard. Back hard. Whoa. Yeah. Back four. Back four, Justin.
You can hear them saying back four-ish.
I'd like to come by, tap, and save the angle. Just stay on a bit of an angle.
Great shot, Grant. Beauty.
It's just excellent. Now you can see if the yellow is impacted, that red will miss the back yellow. And that's why they're sweeping that to stay on that angle. Talk about proper rock placement, though. You couldn't have walked down and placed that better. So now for Team Japan, they need to come down and just bump to offset the angles again. I would think you'd want to bump this a little bit, just a few inches.
And I think that was the original call, and then he kind of indicated he maybe was just going to freeze, but now has he called the bump?
I believe they're still playing the freeze. The problem is even if you make it, Team Scotland can just blast out your two reds and sit 3 or 4. The angles are all favoring Team Scotland right now, so bumping a little bit would get the angles a little bit different. Weight looks perfect for the freeze. Line looks good.
Yes.
Exactly what they called?
Yes, exactly what they called. It's certainly worrisome, though. And
Hopefully it goes this way. Okay. Yeah, it should.
They're thinking about the drag effect of the red shot stone. It may come back and collide a little bit with the yellow in the back four.
Okay. The gap should go.
Trying to hit half of the rock and ricochet into those rocks on the side.
Full. Clean. Whoa. Clean. Yep. Clean. Yep. Get out. Nice shot, Grant. That's good.
All those yellows now behind the corner. Yeah. That was the issue with playing that freeze. It did set up the potential of getting rid of a lot of red.
Grant makes a ton of these, and as you say, Kevin, it did just drag slightly back and hits that yellow stone that was in the back four. But most importantly, those 3 are pretty much lined up behind that corner guard.
It's troublesome, yes. And of course, Team Japan could come around the center, but one little miss and it's a bunch. So this is the right call. Try to eliminate at least 1, maybe 2, but the double's incredibly difficult. Playing bumper, so that means playing the hit and roll behind the center guard and just get rid of 1 yellow. This is not a double attempt. So same result as drawing around the center, except you nullify 1 of the opposition rocks.
First skip stone here in the first end for Japan, Yuta Matsumura, 31 years old.
Yep.
Boy, this is moving off the line. Needs to get by. Does. Who is third? That's very important.
Looks like it could be yellow. Yeah. They'll let us know.
Absolutely, yeah.
Who's third?
Hang on. Who's third?
Right nose. Yeah, it looks yellow.
Okay.
Right nose.
Yeah, Scotland pretty sure it's them.
Fly through.
He's making noise.
If he makes a double, you should hopefully have the
Probably
trophy.
going that way, right?
Fuck off.
Yeah, so if you keep nose, you get trophy.
So the key to this hit and stay is hitting on the nose or rolling in just slightly. As you can imagine that the yellow double on the right-hand side is pretty much automatic. So you make that double, the red will be about an inch inside the 8-foot.
First and third hit this line. Yeah.
And Kevin, we're just popping over to sheet D, Norway, Switzerland in the first end of play.
That looks like an in-turn draw. Fairly open house, but yellow having a couple of biters, a biter on the right-hand side, and then what I call a snibbler in the back corner. Looks like it's just hanging on, so there's no blank attempt. So no choice but to draw into the rings for 1 point, a force, 1-0. Norway.
And back over to our feature game. No mistake made there by Team Scotland. Bruce Mowat with his first. So Team Japan in a little bit of trouble here, facing 3 right now with only 1 rock to come. Kevin.
And Scotland placed that rock, rolled in just so slightly. And now you can imagine if the yellow double is made, the yellow on the left-hand side will be shot stone and it'll be a draw for 2. But I think the double has to be the call. Let's see what they're playing here. They're probably going across face double, but we'll see. The hit and roll behind the center guard is so risky to give up 3 if indeed that yellow is ahead of the red, which Grant Hardy did tell us. I would imagine this is an across the face out turn with good bumper, kind of control type weight.
Shinya Abe just having a quick look there. There's not a ton of room, but there is enough room, as you say, Kevin, to cross the face, even hit and roll into it, but definitely to make the double.
Certainly moving off the line. Very good.
Nice shot. Do you take on the red double
Well,
for 3?
they're definitely having a look at it. Nope, drawing for 2. And I 100% agree with the draw for 2. You've played a really good end as a team, and Team Japan just made a really nice shot. So you know, tip your hat. Good shot. Take your 2. Got control of the game early.
Sorry. Yeah. He was back 4, so.
Do people still tip their hat? That's still a thing.
I don't wear a hat. I don't know.
Okay. Used to be a thing.
It used to be a thing. So here we go. Final stone here of the first end. Team Scotland looking for a draw, pretty much just to the full 8-foot for their second point.
We're here, Heavy.
Never.
Close. Heavy.
Never.
Wasn't that positive?
Hammy only.
Little
Close
heavy
line.
still.
Hammy.
We're okay.
No, we're not.
No.
We're okay.
Let it work.
Somewhere around 14.5 is about right. Well, 14.4. I think this will be just fine.
Hey, throw it, Bruce. That boy.
Very nice. Well played in by Team Scotland here in the first.
Good in, boys. Great end.
And a good 2-0 start.
Nice. Good.
14-6.
Okay. That's good.
46.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, good start.
1本目は剥がなかったから曲がったなと思う。1本目は剥がなかったから。
drag that way. Yeah.
Last time,
Aye.
he was not even shouting.
Angle slightly wrong, right?
But then we'd have been into our yellow here and lost for yellow.
Yeah, but we would have pushed our two right behind the guard.
Yeah.
It's still a good result.
But I think that top red without counting.
Same as your draw shot.
We went right inside that, but you could hit the
Come
red
for
yellow
it.
and spin up to the red.
Welcome back. It's 2-0 early lead Scotland over Japan. They almost played a perfect end, Kevin, in the first.
Wider pass than you got.
They really did. They made everything, and probably more importantly, when it came to the freezes and all the plays, the angles were right. And it really didn't give Team Japan a whole lot to work with that end. And they even had a shot for 3 had they wanted, you know, take it on, but there was no need. That wouldn't have been the right call, but that's the type of end it was.
So Japan's going to look to answer right back here by putting up a corner guard. They'd really like to get a deuce back right away.
And most teams are throwing it near the OK Tire logo. That one's curling plenty. Well done. It's right on the logo. That's about the right distance from the house. If it's longer than that, even if you bury around, the opposition can usually tap you out. And if it's too tight, of course, they can run rocks back. So somewhere around that logo is just about right.
Line's good. Weight's good. Pretty tight.
And it gives you a chance to plug the sponsor.
Line's a hair narrower.
Of course.
Really go.
No, line's good.
Line.
We're definitely short.
Yeah, you're going to split the centre, I think.
No, line's
Bobby,
good.
It's all yours. Bobby, it's yours. Okay, line's not bad.
Carl.
No, don't
Carl!
curl. Don't curl. Good shot.
Very nice, right in front.
Good start for Hammy Mcmillan.
And now with the 5-rock rule, you see this quite often. Certainly last end, Team Scotland went around the corner guard. Team Japan doing it now. Wanting this in front of the tee, though. That's important.
It's getting by that guard by a ton.
Yeah, I don't know if this will bury. It's a little bit heavy. That's why the sweepers couldn't carve it to make it curl. It's sort of in no man's land.
Yeah, same weight as this one.
Yeah, I think you know what I think that.
Think quite a bit less for
That'd be what we were talking about in the first end, where lots of room. We're heavy. Oh, those don't match.
They don't match. They don't go together at all. It's like the light and tight. You don't want that combination either.
Bobby just playing an out-turn tap here. Kind of hack weight and try to roll into the 8-foot circle to nullify the use of that corner.
Hard! Let it go!
This is really moving, though.
Quick turn! Keep it going.
Oh, it does get
Wow, what great sweeping.
Really light.
Trying to throw hack weight, and that was only back line weight, so that was the difference in the curl.
The fraction down, buddy.
It's pretty good.
It is pretty good. It just sets up for a freeze. That's the only problem with it.
And that's why they obviously wanted to hit and roll away, Kevin, so they don't set that up.
No. Line's dead. Line's dead. Break. Break. Yes. Line's good.
See the
Very-
calm demeanor.
Yes.
Yeah, very controlled, absolutely. And
Yes.
but you know, you can do that here during COVID times. If we had a building full of people all yelling and screaming, you'd have to be a little more boisterous.
Probably just a couple
Like
feet
Bruce
more,
was
pretty much
on the previous one.
Like Bruce was, that's right.
playing the same way.
But here you
Right
can
hand
certainly
one,
get away
4,
with
5
that,
feet
no
more.
problem at all. This rock looks to be about, half open. Yeah, maybe a skinny half. So hack weight. So a little bit more than the last one Bobby threw, but this is getting to throw the same shot twice. I would imagine he'll be close. Yeah, hate to give somebody as good as Bobby Lammy the same shot twice.
Hard run. Hard.
Sorry, Bobby, I jinxed you. I'll take the blame for that.
And that almost looks, what do you think, about the same weight he maybe just threw. Still a little bit light, I think.
Sure curled.
And there's your coach for Team Japan, Bob Ursel. He's from Kelowna, BC. Kelowna, British Columbia. He's been with this team for about 3 years, I think. 2 years, maybe?
Yes, he was with South Korea, actually, at the last Olympics.
Right.
As a coach. Fantastic, really good curler and an excellent coach. And is coaching Team Japan now, so they're lucky to have him. He's excellent. Trying the run back. Looks good. A little unlucky there, but does move it in the open. I'm going to say nothing this time about this tap.
And there's the coach for Team Scotland, Ellen Hanna. He's been involved in a coaching position with Scotland for a number of years.
Wayne's good. Yep. Wayne's good. Same as Bobby. Yep. Yep. Clean. Same as Bobby. Yep. Yes.
Yeah, hard.
This one's moving again.
Hard balls. All the way.
Right to it,
All the way.
right to it.
Right to it. All the way. All the way. All the way.
Will it get by the back one?
Get out. Get out.
Nice shot, Grant. Good.
Well, it doesn't get it out, but pretty good. Once again, very light. Lighter than expected, so must be a bit of a spot on the sheet that maybe it's just a touch heavier.
Clean. Same as Bobby.
Yeah, we mentioned how good Hammy and Bobby are, but see the pressure, the outwards pressure, and that's the carving pressure. That's why they're so effective on keeping the rocks line.
Nice shot, Grant.
Wow.
Good.
So when it comes to carving, it's that push away. When it comes to carrying the rock for distance, it's the push away, but also the pull back. So it's equal pressure both ways for carrying the stone, lots of pressure out when carving the stone. Does that make sense to everyone? They're two definitely different strokes.
Right.
Few more feet.
You know, just get noses, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
So I think Team Japan was very much hoping to get a more of a roll there towards that center, like just past the center line. Just gives Scotland another opportunity to hit and lie 3.
Wade's good. Yep. Here, light. Hard. Hard.
We're trying for right on the nose.
Hard. Clean. Clean. Hurl. Hurl.
Looks just fine. Should be very close to the nose.
Right. Okay.
Good.
Good shot.
Bit scared.
Aye.
You just over, did you?
Yeah.
You can imagine, had that rock rolled a few inches over, there would have been a triple for Team Japan to stay on the other side of the sheet once they rolled. So that's why they decided to nose and not get the roll behind, for anybody that's wondering at home. Because you'd think a natural call would be to roll underneath the guard. Well, that would have set up a potential triple. That's why.
So where's the best roll now for Team Japan here once they make contact with this yellow Scottish stone? Where do they want to roll to?
Certainly underneath. Try to get, now it's time for them to get underneath. And it's close. Just on the nose.
Just so he doesn't have to kind of run double into the pocket.
I don't think you can stuff. You'd have to
Same weight
scrape
as
it
me
to
or
stuff.
just same weight as me is good. Perfect.
We're talking about stuff, which means trying to hit and roll buried. Still might not be the call, though. You don't want to set up a triple, but don't want to stuff it on the back one.
Grant was what, sorry?
And Bobby doesn't think that's possible
same as
to
that.
have that much curl.
Here low.
Both teams just exchanging stones in this one spot. Not quite getting on the inside roll.
Yeah, Bruce doesn't want to roll buried, but just
Right.
wants to roll a couple of inches to hide an inch of this rock, the shooter.
Close to hack. 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 No. We're hack weight.
Yeah. Firm, Grant.
Hurl. Hurl.
Curl. Curl huge.
Roll wide.
Curl, keep going.
Really close.
Hard
Keep
go.
going.
We're really
Keep
close,
going,
Bobby.
keep going, keep going.
Good.
Okay.
Nice, Bruce. This is really heavy.
Yeah. Look at that, got 11.
That's a really good house set up by Team Scotland. They own the front of the house and sitting 3. But to Bobby's last point, that is the stuff available. Well, I think that now that yellow did roll a little, a hit and roll and make the back double may be possible. Could be a setup for a potential 2 points here if you can get just the perfect roll and make the back double.
Here's the first skip stone for Team Japan. Trying to get the hit and flop towards the center and maybe catch that back one, as you indicated, Kevin.
Looks pretty good. Get by the guard, though. The guard's coming up. A little lucky on the back. No. Thought maybe you get a little lucky on the back one, but no.
We're just heading over to sheet D with Norway with a early 1-0 lead. And Team Swiss.
Looks like right now Switzerland is sitting 1 on the side 4-foot. So an opportunity for Benoit Schwartz to draw a little better than full 8
Easy.
to get 2 points here.
Ça a l'air assez nature, mais attention. Ouais. Oui.
Line looks pretty good. Does have the backing of that red stone in the back 8, so pretty safe shot. Nicely done. That's 2 points. So a 2-1 lead now for Switzerland after 2.
You're pretty much the same weight as you threw in your
That's
last
one of the key games we'll be keeping our eyes on throughout this session.
Bah, c'est très sensible. Enfin, moi, je sais que mon draw shot, là, enfin, je vais 1 ou 2 un peu actif.
So back to our feature game here, Kevin. It looks like Bruce is maybe playing a tap on that one that's top 8. I missed the actual call, but it looks like he might be tapping.
Yeah, he's definitely tapping. The reason being is that right now, if you come around to the 4-foot and Team Japan makes the double, Team Japan would be shot rock. But if this is bumped, you've moved the rock up a rock's width, then a double, and Team Scotland would be shot. That's a very good shot.
Pretty good.
Might have left the in-turn draw, but I don't think there's any other way to score. Ooh, yeah, I think the draw. Yeah, that, he was talking about hitting thin on the first yellow onto the other yellow and then kind of skitter through.
In fairness, he did play that yesterday and made it.
And did make it, but yeah, that's very tough. I was glad to see him tap the 4-foot on the in-turn draw. Just needs to make sure he has enough ice to get by the situation in the middle.
And does this turn look easier than the other turn, you think?
I don't think either of them look very easy, but the yellow stone's a little bit closer to the center line on the in-turn case. Or out-turn, I should say, for Utah, being a southpaw, a lefty.
So here's the last stone for Yuta Matsumura in here in the second end, facing 4 on his last. Needs a good chunk of the 4-foot.
We're looking for that 14.5, 14.7. Well, this is a little bit heavier than probably wanted. Needs to slow down a little bit. It does not. Steal of 1. That's a big point.
That is a big point. So another one on the board for Scotland. They are up 3-0 after 2.
Can't come and get your drink. Can't be 3 of us up there. So have your drink up here or something.
Just the rule.
Aye. Having a drink.
かりある感じ。悪くない。
Edge, okay.
Welcome back to the third end of session 14 of the BKT Tires and OK Tire World Men's Curling Championship 2021. My name is Melissa Saligo, and I'm joined here by Olympic champion Kevin Martin.
Yeah, good boys.
Our feature game today, Japan versus Scotland. Scotland with an early 3-0 lead. Kevin.
Great, Ham.
Yes, it's been all Scotland so far. Well, they're just curling really, really well. Pretty much have made every shot. They may have actually made every shot so far in the game, and so Team Japan's, you know, when you come out against a team that's curling that well, rather than worrying about the other team, just okay, we need to make 8. Let's make 8 out of 8, get our 1 or 2 points, and get back into the game. Because right now, when you have a team playing so well against you, sometimes you worry about them and not worry about yourself.
Right. I think that's a really good point for Japan. I think they need to focus on putting 8 in a row, having a really solid end, and just getting some of that confidence and momentum back.
Line's good. Tight. Line's good.
Real tight. Line's good.
Line's good. Line's really good.
Air room. Bobby's in.
Please
Yep,
keep for
Bob,
tight.
Yep. Hard, Bobby.
Hard, Bob.
Hard.
Tight to the line.
Keep going.
Hard.
Great spot. Back in there. Nice feet, boys. Real good.
Okay.
Still early, but Hammy Mcmillan throwing a 100% game after 2.
Might find most of them be at 100%. That's incredible.
Line's good. Yes. Yes.
Trying to throw the freeze around the middle. This one's curling a lot, though. Have to hold it to get by.
Yes.
Don't think so. As the rock comes, as it slows down, that's when it takes the big curl. Didn't quite have enough room. Looks to be maybe short, though. Yes. Team Scotland cannot hit it.
Hard here.
Never tried.
They make this. We make
And a
this.
bit of a different tactic there for Japan. They put up the corner, but they decided to come to the center this time instead of around their corner guard. What would the reason be for that?
Well, other than it didn't work last time, so let's try something else. Because really, either call is right. There's nothing wrong with either call. It's just kind of a feeling. So the skip felt, you know what, let's freeze. And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. That's more than me, Bob, Bruce.
It was good that the rock stayed outside the house. At least now you can bump it. You have something to deal with. If it slides into a biter, you would see Scotland hit and roll the middle, and you know you're in trouble again.
Should be there. Pretty good though.
Halfway.
Line's good. Looks like it's running.
Hammy, it's yours.
Hammy, still yours.
Halfway.
Line's good.
Visualize. Just
Line's
pass
good.
the brush.
Easy.
Still yours, Hammy.
Whoa.
Perfect. Ah, great shot, Bobby. Great shot.
Just going to take a look over on sheet C. Update, Canada versus Team Italy. It's currently 0-0, and it looks like, Kevin, Italy sitting 1 for sure.
Definitely sitting 1, and it's there's no real good choice here. It's just a draw to the side of the button. No choice here.
Max line. Really got a curl. Really got a curl.
I did watch Team Canada in the warm-up, and they were having trouble getting this rock on the intern side to curl. So I do understand trying to get enough curl. Kark's trying to bend it in there. That's very, very close. There's a well swept, but that's what happened in warm-up as well when I was watching them. Steal of 1, so did not curl enough. 1-0.
Back on our feature game.
Line's good.
Yasumisu Tanida just made a run back double, so was able to get rid of some of those yellow stones. So looking a little cleaner in the house for Team Japan.
Top 12 just. Hard. Gotta go.
Trying to get by here. Same thing. Rocks And close to a biter. Playing the split, so even if it's not, it will be in a second.
一本こっちカマー投げる一回今これやってもいいけどここはずっと投げれるようになっちゃうから
レイズされちゃったら取れんくはなるよね。黄色レイズされても大丈夫？
ああ先これタップするか縦スプリットで防げるんじゃないこっちが
Yeah, he doesn't look real excited about the call at present time. There really is two choices. Go around the corner guard or deal with the situation in the middle. Skip likes to deal with the situation in the middle. So playing the split, I like this call. This is a good call. Obviously, the two scary stones, and you're talking on behalf of Team Japan, are the two yellows that are only a few inches out. They can be, you know, those raises are quite easy.
And that's what I'm wondering. If you played a split now and you split your red ones behind those two yellow guards, they've got 2 runs. Whereas if you just leave that red one for later and come around the corner, is that maybe a better option?
It certainly wouldn't be a bad option. No, you're right. Absolutely.
Oh.
Now, if this stays in the back rings, it works pretty well, but that looks heavy. So just a little bit too heavy, trying to play that with back line. It is buried, however. Shot stone behind the corner.
It is in, yeah.
All right.
Those are one of the examples of just a small opening there for Team Japan to get 2 rocks in play, get 2 rocks in the rings, and put some pressure back on Team Scotland. Like try and set up their deuce.
We can imagine if that rock hits exactly as it did, but didn't throw hack weight,
Right.
just throw back line, that rock would be in the back 8 foot, and that wouldn't be an easy raise. And the other side, there is no raise.
Exactly.
Would have been a fantastic situation, but just a little bit heavy.
Top or draw then?
Right here, high run.
Stuff either way. I hear low maybe.
It can't stuff in that our guard.
Run that hair low.
Also an option, yeah. Go for that.
Like that, yeah.
No, the other way.
Try that way. Can't stuff it and
Okay.
Spin up.
Yeah.
sure.
See if I stick
Right.
it out.
If you stick it, then they can probably split it and get both ends.
And as we head over to sheet A for a quick update, Denmark out to a 4-0 lead already over Germany.
Yes, and it's all yellow in the house, so important draw here. Down 4-0, needs well, a little bit more than full 8 foot, so almost a bite of the 4 foot to stay in this one. Cannot afford to give up this any more points early in this game. Sweepers seem to be liking it though. Cleaning this one halfway to the house, so it looks good. Well done. 1 point, 4-1 now. Denmark has hammer.
That important hammer already up 3 early in that game.
このくらいだったら多分ギリこっちはいいけどこっちが入れないとは思うんだよね。
カマいけそう？カマいけるとは思うけど。いけますかい？
Deciding on the split or the straight come around. I believe going for the straight come around here into the top 4 foot. Wouldn't be wrong though to play it a little tight, and if by chance you split it, that's okay. Sit 2.
The weight looks really close on this one.
Line's getting tight though. No problem. Stay in front of the tee. Excellent.
Great shot.
Just need a few more of those. Excellent shot.
15.5 I got. Yeah.
14-9.
Straight to that hand as well.
Very keen ice. 14.9. Compared to the start of the week, certainly the ice is getting straighter, without any question. See Bruce Mowat giving Grant Hardy about edge of 4 foot or just maybe a smidgen more to draw through the center hole. So that's not very much ice. Halfway guard. So pulled the string on this one a little bit.
The weight seam has appeared to be pretty consistent since the start of the week. I think it did start about the 14.5 mark. So I think the weight has stayed the same, but as you say, the ice getting a little bit straighter.
I would, sorry, Melissa. I think they'll probably deal with that. So before these events start, they scratch the stones. They sandpaper the stones so that they curl a lot. But remember that they practiced for 3 days, the players, and then all these draws. And what happens is kind of like erosion with rocks. The rocks get smoother and faster, but of course straighter. So sometime during this week, you'll likely see the ice makers touch them up again, so you get that nice curl again. So we'll see when that happens. Of course, we have no control over that, but I'm sure the powers that be will let us know when that occurs. But just to let everybody know who's watching here today how it all works.
So Grant Hardy on his last one just wasn't even close on his draw weight, just pulled the string, as you say. So a bit of an opportunity here for Japan, but that's a really tight port they were trying to come through.
Almost made it.
Almost.
Just a smidgen more weight or a hair more line, it would have been perfect. But not a lot of choice here for Team Scotland to take on the Rays. There's not really anywhere else. Can't really freeze or anything, so give it a go. Probably one of your best hitters in the world of curling, though, today is Bruce Mowat. Don't think he'll play with a ton of weight, sort of a firm control type of a weight, maybe 9 seconds hog to hog. I'm going to time this one just to see. Of course, everybody at home would have stopwatches beside their couch or their chair.
So it looks like Bruce just, as Kevin said, nice easy weight, trying to hit just a little high side on that stationary stone. It's the first Scottish skip stone of this end.
Good shot.
Shot, Bruce. Nice shot.
Nice.
Such nice weight control.
That's just absolutely perfect.
That was 10-second hit, so a very nice lightweight hit. So that if you throw this too hard, it's very difficult to stay buried. But by taking the weight down, it gives you a better chance of staying buried. It's a more difficult shot by being less weight. Like it's easier to make contact with the back when throwing it hard. But you know, Bruce is such a good hitter that no surprise he made that perfect.
Well, and when you have a front end too, like Hammy and Bobby as well, and then the way they can brush, they can manage a stone remarkably.
So now, luckily that Team Japan red stone is out in the open. So same shot here, little angle raise, likely about the same weight being played. Maybe a touch heavier because it's near center. Looks pretty good.
He's really close.
Made contact, but just didn't quite stick it. Near center, though, he did. You know, Yuta did throw a little bit more weight. That was just over 9 seconds. So I think the weight was perfect. Just had to hold it.
Yeah, just over curled, I think, by
just a touch.
Yeah.
Just a touch. Still a pretty good shot, but would have liked to have obviously stuck it in that 4-foot area. So now a big chance again for Team Scotland. And the tolerance here for Scotland would be if you're a little bit wide, you split that yellow that's just about in the rings and sit 2, and therefore the force is on. You would not want to rack the middle.
Both are good, Grant. I entered.
Yeah, the worry with the outturn is if you get really close to the yellow guard, you might bump the red in.
Exactly.
This way you can't.
Yeah,
Or,
that's right.
Well, should never say can't in the world of curling, but shouldn't.
Okay.
Last stone here for Bruce Mowat in the third end of play. Looking to navigate that port. I would love to get one just top 8, top 4 behind all those guards.
your grunt. Back 4. No. Back 8. Back 8.
You can hear the weight call,
Yeah, we're back 4.
saying it's a bit heavy.
Back 4. Back 4. Back 4.
So either through the hole
Smallest bit you can.
or make the split.
And that's exactly what you called, Kevin.
Well, that's the right way to miss. That's the tolerance. So that's totally understandable. It makes a lot of sense. And
Yeah, I think you're fine. You put the right way.
job done. Got the force.
So last skip stone coming up here for Team Japan.
さっきのラストと同じぐらいで
Just basically needs to hit 8 foot to get his single point. Going out a little wider than a path we've seen thus far.
The ice has been pretty consistent, though. And like you said, it's a little bit wider, so it might be a smidgen heavier, maybe 14.3 rather than 14.5, 7, something like that.
There we go. Right up. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Just fine. Good draw.
Great shot for Team Japan, and they are on the board. It is now 3-1, Scotland leading Japan, and they will have hammer in the fourth end.
To it with. Yeah.
Aye. No sharp.
Yeah. No.
And here we go, back to our feature game, Team Scotland versus Team Japan. We are in fourth end play. A big 1 point on the board for Team Japan to kind of change the momentum of what was going on thus far, Kevin.
Yes, it's been very lopsided momentum so far. It's been all Team Scotland. And even that end, Bruce Mowat made it just a beautiful out-turn bump to take away a pretty good opportunity for Team Japan, and then ended up just forcing Team Japan to make a tough wide. I was going to say out-turn draw, but viewed as left-handed, so in-turn draw for him, and he had no trouble making it, but it was only for a single.
We're good, though.
So Team Japan will have to take a few chances now. 2 down without the hammer to get back into this one.
Set.
Good there.
Go on, okay.
Shinya Abe at 88% for the championship thus far. Pretty consistent numbers, curling 83% thus far in this game. And just popping over to sheet C, Italy and Canada. Italy with an early 1-0 lead, and it looks, Kevin, like Canada line 1.
Yes, that red rock in the top 8, that was actually Brendan Botcher's last one. He made a double and rolled, buried. Team Italy tried the run back, didn't quite make it. So now it's a draw 4-2 just hit the rings.
Straight.
Straight.
Oh, we're screwed.
Well, this looks heavy, though. This was just a draw for 2, and
We should have just carved.
that's going right through the ring. So a missed easy opportunity. It's 1-1. Wow, you don't see that very often.
You do
Melissa.
not.
Wow.
No. And they kind of missed the communication piece too, because they felt if they carved it, they could have just ticked off the red and maybe saved it.
Well, but how? You just don't expect.
No, you don't.
You're just lobbing that rock into the 12-foot circle. You don't expect the skip to be almost to the hack. So that's the way it goes sometimes. And now, 2 nice stones start this end for Hammy Mcmillan, right in the top 8, top 4.
100%.
Having a good look at that port. That's a very, very tight port trying to come through. It's barely wider than a rock. It looks really tight. Tough shot. Certainly.
Here's a good look at it.
It's not very big. Trying to come through and bump the yellows around and hopefully make a pocket. Tough shot.
Sounds like he's throwing about half weight. Like you say, has to navigate those 2 rocks through that port.
This is really curling over, though. Yes, it was possible to make, but what a tough shot to ask your teammate to make. You know, could have come around one of the rocks into the 4-foot area or whatever. But anyway, now Team Scotland with last rock sitting 2, and
Always looks like
I was just kind of surprised by that
I don't really
call.
like hitting them.
I would
We're
agree.
like a split.
He originally went to the outside to come in, and he changed his mind.
Half stone back line.
But like you say,
Like that?
and we've talked about it already, is even if he came with the other, like the out turn and came on the outside and even just tried to get it to the front of that yellow stone, just rock placement, right? Trying to figure out how to get their rocks in front of their opposition so they can use them. Not going to really get anything out of the one they just threw.
Yeah, degree of difficulty so high.
Wait, he's good.
So now,
Just through. Back line.
back line, trying to split the rocks up a little bit. That yellow combination is basically a simple double, so bump things around, try to chap and roll underneath those guards.
Nice shot, Bob.
Nice shot. There's no simple doubles.
Good there.
Well done.
Need more weight.
Yeah, same, exact same shot, more weight.
Trying to figure out how they could hit that on the nose. Boat back line, because it's about an inch or so buried.
What do you think is more important here right now, Kevin, when you're looking at the house and you know that Japan doesn't have hammer? Is it more important to get rid of 2 rocks, or is it more important to try and hit and roll behind your guards and just try and get something going?
Yeah, fairly early in the end, but definitely soft weight hits and rolls, bumps. But you don't want to give up a million either. You're only 2 down. Oh, try to get a little roll. Put him in a straight line. Oh, pretty good. Would have liked to have rolled a little bit further and have the yellow, red, yellow all in the straight line. That's still available to be.
Center guard.
Okay. Wherever you like, Bruce.
Yeah, I don't mind this call. Yeah. I'll give it that.
2 up with hammer. This
Can I
makes
get it onto
a lot
that
of sense.
red? No. Sorry. Can I get it onto the red and get in? No. Really? Then. Okay.
Single.
It doesn't touch 8. It doesn't. No. Okay.
And as a thrower, you sometimes just want to ask, you know, where you need to hit it, how much you need to hit, just so you have an awareness as the thrower.
Maybe get both. Yep. Oh. Yep.
Then onto that red, hoping to stay in the rings, but good try. That was the attempt, but it was quite thin. You don't want to flash everything. So good throw by Bobby Lammy.
Right, 一回こっちタップ。で、ここに。タップにするか。8。
Tetsuro Shimizu, so far 77% this week. I think they've elected to play maybe just a little tap.
Yeah, just try to offset the angles a little bit, bump the redstone top forefoot to top button. This is fairly wide though, trying to get almost a nose. May end up bumping the red. Unfortunately, without hitting the top yellow, it's a fairly simple double.
Still got it well.
What about if you hit that one, roll behind the guard? Does it go on? No. It's pretty tough.
Triple sort stuff.
Maybe you just roll in there.
Could nose it and roll next to it.
No, not that.
Maybe just hit and roll in there at Peel.
I
To make the double, you make the
think we're trying to make it too complicated.
Okay, Bruce. Play double. I'm just worried if I miss it in the garden first throw one. But...
We say short, so.
Okay.
Great numbers there by Grant Hardy, 90% for the week.
Curl.
Lean. Curl.
Needs to come up a little to make the double.
No
That's
mistake.
nice.
Great shot. And just going over to the Canada-Italy game with a 1-1 tie right now in 4.
Yeah, Brendan's got a bit of the case of the heavies on his last one. Had a nice freeze attempt to the back, but bounced off. So this is an opportunity to tap for at least 2. Now, there's lots of looking around the outside 12-foot to see who is third shot if this is made. And it's really hard to say. This is definitely for 2, though, maybe 3. Looks pretty good.
Okay.
It is 2. 2 yellow, so 3-1 now. Team Italy.
And back on our feature game, Japan threw looked like a double, I guess, a double or a triple, because there was no yellow rocks left in play.
Yeah, made a beautiful triple, actually, yeah, and made the hit, so now maybe get a little bit of a roll here and potentially get a force.
Yeah, he'd love to hit and roll under. This is Yuta Matsumura's first rock in this 4th end. And just over to sheet D, Norway versus Switzerland. Norway with a 1-point lead right now in 4.
Yeah, it looks like a nose hit, maybe even get on the inside here. This could be for as many as 3. Try to get the inside of the red. And now the back one, so that's... Well, it's 1 for sure. Maybe 2. Have to look at the back ones.
Good try.
Kind of looks like 2 to me.
Yeah, I thought maybe 2 as well, but they're having a good look.
Oh, yeah. As saved?
Yeah, I agree, 2.
Two, yeah, together.
This one.
2 it is.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, total.
Yeah.
It's good.
4-3.
He tried it.
Switzerland. Good shot.
Okay, good.
Not me, Peter.
Matsamira just didn't quite get the complete roll under that guard. It's partially exposed here for Bruce Mowat.
Bruce not wanting to hit this on the nose, wants to roll into the rings.
Right over there, Hammy. Right over there. Far as you go. Far as you go. Right over there. All the way, Hammy. Nice shot.
Nicely done.
Shot,
Good,
Bruce.
Bruce. Real nice.
Nice.
Nice shot.
Okay.
Good man.
Now a long, long roll being attempted here to force. Have to roll all the way across behind that corner guard and to force Team Scotland and Bruce Mowat to draw.
Yuta Matsamura with 77% at this championship thus far.
Hey. Hey. Yep. Hey. Yep. Hey. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, ends up hitting on the nose, so it'll be a blank attempt here. Team Scotland's happy with that. Retain that hammer going into 5.
This is the last rock for the 4th end. Team Scotland looking for the blank.
Grant putting his broom in the air. Good throw.
Nice, Bruce.
So the score remains Scotland 3, Japan 1 after 4.
Good. Yeah, the left a trip also.
Yeah. Yeah, catch your hair.
Welcome back to the 5th end of action here. Japan versus Scotland. Scotland with a 3-1 lead. Still with hammer here in the 5th end. We are at the Wind Sport Arena in Calgary, Alberta.
That's a nice center guard, nice and tight.
Line's good.
Hammy asked to come around and in front of the tee line.
Okay, line's good.
Top 8, bite top 4 would be perfect.
It's not far away.
You just battered that for the first half.
We're top 4.
Top 4, that's just fine. She does not want to be behind the tee. Line looks really good. Nice shot.
Good.
Good. I like.
So Team Japan coming into the rings. It wouldn't be wrong, 2 down without to throw double centers. But keeping it a little bit simple for now. If nothing changes and we get into the second half of the game at the same score, you'll likely see Team Japan throwing the double centers to really try to force the issue.
Yes, yes, yes.
Great brushing. Just getting by that guard.
12.
Yeah, you can take quite a few off.
Trying to rest this one on the corner of the redstone. The angle raise that we've seen, or angle freeze that we've seen a couple of times today already by Hammy.
All there. Close, but there.
Does look
How heavy? Probably on the yellow.
a touch heavier to me.
We're just on the yellow. Hey, you're setting real high. Well, close, close, close. Yep, yep.
Well, actually, it did finish pretty hard at the end, but not exactly what was called. It didn't quite curl enough, so an opportunity to maybe bump.
Lock it.
So Japan going to the other side now, just trying to create a good angle here for themselves.
ちょっと開きたいな。入っていいよ。ラインはいいよ。ラインはいいな。4本だ。短い？
This one's really curling, Kevin.
Yeah, this is all over the front. Well, might as well leave it, and another center guard might be able to use it later.
Wow.
Yeah, not close on that one.
Is it better that high or low?
High.
I was thinking you go 3/4 this turn. Okay.
Okay.
Opportunity to open up the whole front now.
I think that's what
Scotland playing the scoreboard. Of course, the house looks great for Scotland, and some people at home might wonder, well, gee, this might be an opportunity to go after it. No need. Play the scoreboard. This is certainly the right call. Open up the front.
No. 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 Girl. Clean. Close. Set 2/3.
Great shot. Cleans things up.
That's the way you play that shot.
Could have made it either way, but.
Japan looking to replace the center guard. Trying to be very patient here.
As long as it gets close to center line, that'll be just fine. No problem. Team Scotland will likely peel it. Very good. Good shot. Another peel. At some point in time, Team Japan will have to do something with the rocks in the house.
Clean. Just clean.
And how long do you wait? Is it kind of a team preference? Do you wait till your second? Kind
Probably
of
third, second in this particular case. The house isn't very well set up, unfortunately, for Team Japan, because even if you were to make that double on the yellows and roll over, it's a simple double coming back. You've got another blank. So not a great setup for stealing or for forcing.
Japan really would like to force at some point here to get the hammer back.
そこまでは歩くな。ちょっとありそうかい？うん。そこまで行く。ラインはいいよ。近いよ結構。15.8。
Another peel. I think Bruce had a quick look at hitting the yellow a little thin and trying to sit 3. But cooler heads prevailed. No need. Look at the scoreboard and see what's going on, and you're winning. So no sense taking on a really difficult shot. You could hit the outside of that yellow. It would remove the red, and you could hold the shooter and the other. A very aggressive call, which they may play on the next one if another guard is thrown.
もう一個置くか、本当にダブル狙いながらこっち。いいんじゃない？
Well, that's a decision. Which one you want to play?
どう思う？あ、タップか。
I don't think Team Scotland would peel again.
No, I would agree.
おい、フリーズする？ちょっと内側で。
カマーはね、いけるんだったら、こっちらカマーいける？
あー、カマー行って。
バックボタン？バック4。8？
バック、フルバック8で来れるかどうかぐらいかな。ここまでだったら来れるけど、こっちまではちょっと厳しいかも。
そしたら相手打てなくないあれ？そうだね。そしたら相手追うか、あれいじるかで。相手からいじらした方がいいと思うけど。
That's an interesting call to go out, turn around to the top four. If you make it perfect, not a bad call. Have to make it though. If you're ever deep, when Scotland comes around to the side button, and you're on the hook for at least 2, but maybe 3.
So again, options here for Japan right now, down by 2 without hammer. If they can ever force Scotland to take 1 and get that hammer back and try and get a deuce, they'll be right back in this game. But by doing this, they're being very aggressive. And with the possibility of potentially giving up a big end.
Right, and but I'm not horribly against this. But you best make it. Don't be too deep. Don't be too deep. That's a little bit deep. Be interesting to see what Scotland does here now. I imagine they'll play to the side button, but may play that soft weight half rock.
How many freezes would they need to get shot? Like if we freeze, then they freeze, they won't shot, would they?
So if we freeze, then they freeze, they're probably shot.
Do you think I can ever make this, Bruce? Just almost hit these at the same time, and that'll just skip off that in a way.
Well, I think you can hit that.
Leave the three yellows counting
You
somewhere.
can hit 3/4 and almost miss that.
Yeah.
Are you playing control or normal then?
This is what I expected them to
Never
do.
freeze
Try
it
to play the
backward,
front
like
red
two.
and try to sit 3 yellows in the
No,
rings.
because then he freezes.
Obviously, it's not good if I do this. It's almost just as bad as if I do this.
Yeah. Just hit this first.
What about if you played it like, just get rid of that and hopefully that goes by and then you might have a
I
double?
just think this is coming down, right?
You just think a kind of firm control on Bruce.
Okay.
You just kind of hit, call for 3/4.
Right, give it a
Hope
go.
it kind of almost hits them at the same time.
Think I'm looking to almost hit this at 3/4, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you throw it at this.
Control.
I thought
Hit the red one
less.
just
Yeah,
before
well, I kind of thought
the
this
shooter
was
hits
fine.
the yellow.
Just
It's a very
control,
exacting
clear that.
shot, but I like it.
You get yellow.
Chance to have 3 yellows in the rings.
Almost, if we're really lucky, we'll have 3 counters still.
Throwing this at probably around 9 seconds. Maybe 9.5. Don't want to throw it too hard.
Final stone in this 5th end for Grant Hardy.
Waist good. A bit hair light. Oh, good weight.
Very precise shot, as you heard.
Whoa, Hammy.
Trying to hit 3/4 of the red stone, but almost at the same time.
Look at all the spin. This is important for people to look at. Look at the spin on this rock. That way the red goes without hitting.
Yep.
But it ended up hitting the yellow first, so what they were worried about.
Much, yeah.
Just had to curl up
Got it by, I think.
a little,
Yeah, you would have.
and it would have made the intended shot.
So Japan lines shot and 3rd shot right now. Skip stones to come for both teams.
Once again, though, Team Japan has to be very careful not to set up a triple. Roll over onto the face of the red stone, all of a sudden you set up a triple.
Just checking over on sheet D, the live update. Switzerland over Norway right now, leading them 4-3. And it looks like, Kevin, Switzerland sitting at least one at the back.
Yes, an outturn bump. Attempted here, very difficult shot, trying to hit about half of the guard to bump it to the button. Could play it with a little bit firmer weight in an attempt to get 2 points, but you can imagine if you ever picked out your back red, it would be a steal of a whole bunch. No, trying to get a bigger piece of the button. I believe it's looking like one red to me.
Eine rote. One red.
Wow, what a shot.
Red, terrific angle bump. Well done.
Big sigh of relief there for Stefan. Back to our feature sheet here. Japan looking to hit and roll under. They were successful. Did they leave?
Left a double and a roll, and you may be able to play it with fairly firm weight and roll up against the red one, but there's no triple. So good shot.
Yeah, you can probably still make it a control, but normal sign.
We're going to roll too far with normal.
No, forget it, thick enough.
7/8.
Yeah,
Smooth normal.
just kind of easy normal.
Yep. 9.
Yeah.
That'll be good, Bruce.
Easy normal to make the double and roll behind the yellow in the top 12.
First of the Scottish skipstones.
Yep.
This is Bruce Mowat.
Whoa. No. Clean. No. Clean. Whoa. Hammy. Whoa. 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 Yeah.
Really good throw.
Go, 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 go. Keep
Trying to get it far enough back.
Ooh.
Well, it is buried though, so pretty good result.
normal.
Had to throw it a little bit harder, hit it perfect and jammed it, so just need to throw that a little bit harder.
So quick update over on sheet C. Italy leading Canada 3-1, but Canada does have hammer here in the 5th end.
Yeah. All end, Italy had the house split. On Brendan Botcher's last one, he plays an in-turn, hit and roll behind the corners, made it perfect. Team Italy, instead of playing the freeze, which I kind of thought they would, they tried a double angle raise, didn't make it. So now it's another draw for 2, but need to make this one. Last time was a little bit heavy, so top button. So 2 points, 3-3 tie into the break.
Good. Nice deuce, boys. Here we go.
Yep. Yep.
Needing a double here.
Yes.
In-turn double.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Got it and misses the back one. Good shot.
Great shot.
So there's that force that Team Japan was waiting for. Really good.
Yes.
Well thrown and well swept. Voids the jam on the back one and makes a perfect shot. So Kevin, just out of curiosity, you would never take on the double and maybe try and blank?
You could, but right now you're winning. It wouldn't be a bad shot maybe in the 9th end if it was a tie game, so you can take the hammer home.
Line's great.
But for now, definitely draw for 1, take your 3-point lead into the
You're in a good path.
break.
We're good. We're good.
Line's fine.
So's weight. We're fine.
I've got you a good split.
We're good. We're back 4.
Just fine.
Job,
Right in
Bruce.
the back button for 1 point.
Job, Bruce. What was that?
14-4.
Just a better throw, just ran so much better.
Score after 5, it is 4-1. Scotland leading Japan.
Right, we've got a nice wee chance there, I think.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
If we made that double, we'll probably get the blank.
Back to the first end.
Yeah, an opportunity to draw for 2, which Bruce decided on, but they did have a quick look at the double for 3. It was possible, but a really well-played first end by Team Scotland, and no mistake made right under the button, and a 2-0 lead to start this one off.
And here's this second end where Japan was pretty much in trouble the whole time.
The whole time, and had a look at maybe hitting the top 2 yellows and having the rock come through, but decides, no, you know what, we'll try a wide out-turn draw, but it timed a little bit heavy, and sure enough, it does slide a little bit deep, so gives up a steal of 1. 3-0 now after 2.
Japan was able to score 1 in the third end, giving up hammer, and in the fifth had put together a good end.
Yes, you'd have made a beautiful double, his in-turn double, and Bruce Mowat, no choice. He's forced into a draw for 1, and that's what Team Japan was hoping for. Draw for 1, no problem for Bruce Mowat, but Team Japan gets the hammer back. They are 3 down, but they have the hammer.
So having a look at the other scores in this session 4, Germany leading Denmark in the 6th end 5-4 on our feature game, 4-1 Scotland over Japan, 3-3 tie over on sheet C, Canada and Italy, and a 4-4 tie over on sheet D, Norway versus Switzerland.
Yeah. Bye. Can you use that one? No, thank you. Yeah. Who's in, Dave, sorry? Leave it more, eh? Slightly slower as well. Still good, but not as quick as the draw shot. Draw shot is just ever so 14.5.
And just having a look at the comparison, the statistics after 5 ends, total percentages, Scotland, as we can see there, Kevin, outscoring or outshooting Japan 88-73.
And that's pretty much the score. You know, it is, you can't hide these things, and that's quite a lead. 15%, that's a lot, and a 4-1 lead is quite a lot as well.
Just 1 stolen point on the board, but still, as you say, a big commanding lead right now, 4-1 Scotland over Japan. They have given hammer now back to Team Japan, so they're going to have to try and manufacture a deuce here. Welcome back. You are watching the BKT Tires and OK Tire World Men's Curling Championship 2021 from the Winsport Arena at Canada Olympic Park in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. My name is Melissa Saligo. I'm joined here by Olympic champion Kevin Martin. And Kevin, it's been an interesting game. Scotland definitely having the edge.
Definitely the edge early, but 4-1 is not that big. It's a bit of a lead, but not that bad when Team Japan has the hammer. So as long as they play a good end here, get 2 points, right back into it, but really need to get some rocks in better spots going forward in this game.
Shinya Abe with a 78% game thus far. He's had a pretty good tournament. Trying to throw up the corner guard.
Looks just fine. Trying to hit right on the OK Tire logo and does it successfully. A 3-point lead. I would imagine they'll have Hammy come into the top house, maybe bite top 8, something like that.
Hammy has thrown all draws thus far this game and curling 98%.
A very strong effort so far.
Can't really. Really tight.
Where?
Really close. Should set. Just short now.
Whoa.
Just.
Whoa.
And just short's okay as long as it's tight to the house. You do not want to leave this one very long, but nice and tight like that is just fine. Line is perfect.
Hair over curled. An inch.
That's why they didn't take it into the house. Had they swept that, it could have got into the 8 foot if they wished, but it would have over curled. So really heads up, once again, terrific communication by a top team.
Yes. Yes.
So Team Japan looking for the corner freeze now on that rock that's sitting in the top 4.
Yes. Nice.
Yeah, run hair low. No.
Like the run? Don't mind it.
Yeah, hair low.
Control.
Out-turn hair
What do you
low.
know?
Out-turn.
Probably know this more. Okay.
What do you know? Which turn do you feel most comfortable with?
Move crazy.
So just playing just across the face. I believe this is an out turn. Yes, it looks like an out turn.
Good numbers there by Bobby, 85% today and 85 for the tournament. Very consistent.
Curl! Right to it! Right to it! Keep going, keep going!
What a shot.
And almost sticks it on the side. Not quite, but that's just fine. Good shot.
Okay.
Left the guard up top.
Yasumasa Tanida not having his best game, 60%.
Needs to make a good one here. Trying to freeze. This looks a little bit tight for line again. It's definitely light and tight. May have a bit of a heavier stone, maybe. Has come up light a lot. And has over curled a lot as well. So could have a bit of a heavier stone. We'll have to have a look at that. This is something they probably should have discovered by now, because we've seen that time and time again, and at the halfway meeting they probably should have either told him or whatever the case may be.
Right.
A lot of times teams do give the seconds the not so pleasurable stones. Either the lead or the second. Some teams give them to the seconds, sometimes to the lead.
Can't go, Bruce. Back 4.
It's coming now.
Great communication there by the Scottish sweepers, just saying that they think it's back 4.
Curl, Hammy.
Pass it hard.
Trying not to set up a pocket. So good. Once again, it's a miss, but heads up play, right. Yeah.
Oh, you're just heavy.
Just
yeah, so
make the most of a throw.
So Japan in a bit of trouble already here, Kevin, in the 6th end, and as we know, they have hammer. Scotland lies too, and looks like they're going to try and clear up that front.
Yeah, this is a good call. This is a good call. You know, you tried to freeze and then missed it. You try another freeze. If you don't make it perfect, you simply may never get out of trouble. And that's another bad miss to not open up that front. I just think that he may have a kind of a grippy, curly stone on his first one, and then more of a normal stone on the second. And it just doesn't quite have control of them yet. That's what I suspect.
Even just top 12, half round's good.
Try and get inside
line
nose.
knees up, it's nice.
Yeah.
Try and get inside those.
15. Yeah.
Looks like Team Scotland just going to keep trying to come after Japan. They're going to put another one, I believe, top 4 or even top 8.
Back 4.
So much line.
T.
Fucking grip.
T line.
Might sit better than Bobby, but I don't
Grant
think
curling
so.
75% for this game.
We're bouncing off it, Bruce.
Yep, we're back 4.
Yep.
So a little bit heavy again.
Hard, Bob. One out.
Once again, trying to get a bye to the back one.
Okay.
Okay. Right. 14 again.
Obviously a very keen spot.
Yeah.
Exact same as Bob.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Good heads up again, though. Like, try to get it by without ticking that yellow stone. That's just biting the button.
A chance now for a light tap and maybe set up for 2 points here, maybe.
Tetsuro Shimizu curling 78% today. Looking for a big shot here.
Line's good. Bring. Yes. Bring. Yes.
The line looks pretty good early.
Bring. Yes.
This will move. Hog line in. Now just trying to bump it back to set up a pocket.
Nice.
Very nice. Good
Yeah,
shot.
nice shot.
Really good patient call there. Not trying to do too much with this, just set up for later. That's a difficult red to remove.
Some of the back ones.
Yeah, that's nice. Air high.
Yeah.
So playing the run back, yellow right on the
Yeah, I like
nose. We'll get rid of the red stone without jamming it on any of the back yellows. Very difficult shot, obviously.
Curl.
All the way through
This
center.
has to curl quite a ways.
Shot,
Good
Grant.
shot.
Wow,
Real
what a
nice.
shot.
Got away with it. A little bit lucky there. Slid a little wide. Grant
Good spot.
did on that one and tried to turn it back. Didn't quite get to it. Could have easily jammed on one of those back ones, but
Definitely got a good result.
Shot, Grant. Real nice.
一応ここにフリーズも面白いけど、2取れない。Wow.
And just heading over to sheet C right now, a live look at Canada versus Italy. 3-3 tie. Italy having hammer here, Kevin.
yeah, Brendan Botcher on his last one. Actually, Italy made a nice roll from the side, about half open on the button. Brendan made an in-turn tap, rolled to the side 8 foot to force Team Italy into a draw through a port against 3, needing at least full 8 foot on this one. The line looks pretty good. If anything, the line's a little bit tight. This line could be a little heavier. Yeah, just got off the line on that one. So a massive mistake and a steal of 3 points. Wow, how to turn a game around. And that was just a throw, just didn't get out to the broom and ended up in a heavier spot.
Okay. Let me know if you like that, Bruce, but I think I like this.
In our sheet,
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
Japan made a great hit and roll, fully buried behind that corner guard. It's not shot rock, but it's fully buried.
I'll take your time getting over the top 4, and then you can get it going. Yeah, top 4, top 8.
Certainly
As long as you're
sets up a chance now.
15 seconds, buddy.
Bruce deciding to play the out turn around the corner guard to sit 2 rather than chase the one buried.
What a great game Bruce is having today, 95%
Key line.
Line's great.
There, boy.
thus far.
Line's
It's
great.
curling spectacular.
Key line.
Never bob.
Yeah, back 4 almost. We're back 4.
It doesn't want to be too deep here. I'll set up a double. Sweepers don't want to get on this one.
I think you've got room for 2.
Okay, Bruce.
Right, buddy.
Well, not too bad. That's a very thin double. So Team Japan will have to try a hit and roll in front of the other yellow. Scottish stone almost fully buried.
All right.
It might even be fully buried. But there is enough curl in this spot to be able to, well, yeah, looks like, you can see maybe an inch of that one.
Yeah, I would think about an inch. Guard's fairly tight, so they're going to have to just squeeze by the guard. This is Yuta Matsumura. First skip stone here in the 6th end. Shooting 75% thus far.
A good one here would definitely set up for 2 points, though. It wouldn't even be much that Scotland could do about it if this is made perfect. Looking good. Roll this right on the center line. Don't want to roll too far though. Just roll it to center, not too far. Well, just fine.
I think that'll work. They are sitting 2. Almost overswept it.
I don't think there's any point in trying to get cute and sitting here.
Team Scotland just peeling this one out. So a couple of great shots will set up for a draw to the 8-foot. Nice end. Bruce is trying to hit about a half of this rock and blast it through the hole between the yellows.
Thick half, 2/3, get rid of it. Okay. Thick half, 2/3.
Looks just fine. Should make it go through that hole.
Good shot.
Nice shot.
But job well done.
Really good bounce back for Team Japan here. Just double checking that they are sitting shot stone, and they are fully buried behind that guard. And it looks like they just need to touch 8-foot, full 8-foot for their second point.
So we have the clock out, and it's always around the 14-6, 14-7. Last draw, remember, he's a little bit heavy.
That's right.
So want to see that number somewhere in the 14-5 to 14-7 area.
Here's the final stone for Team Japan, looking for 2 here in this all-important 6th end.
14-6 should be just fine. Good end. Well played end by Team Japan, and puts 2 on the board.
Great end. So we have now Scotland 4-3 after 6, and Scotland will get hammer back. A great end for Team Japan, putting 2 on the board in the 6th end, and now only 1 behind, although Scotland does have hammer in the 7th end. So we'll see how both teams react after that last end.
Yeah, Scotland's been able to play pretty passive for a while. They had control, but now all of a sudden get some guards in play and see if Team Japan can kind of maybe turn the momentum a little bit in their favor.
Top 4. Top T. Yeah, all there.
This needs to sit, Bruce. This needs to sit. We're almost back T. 13-9.
So just updating some other sheets over on sheet A. Germany taking on Denmark with a 1-point lead. And it looks like Germany's sitting 1 right now, Kevin.
Yeah, it looks like Team Denmark looks like they maybe see a half of the German stone that's in the back 8 foot. Maybe a thick half. So the in-turn bump is there, but difficult. Needs to hold this straight. Cannot afford to tick it.
Wow.
Just got by, but well swept. 2 yellow, 6-5 lead after 6.
Just continuing with our updates back from sheet A way over to sheet D. It's 4-4 right now. This is Benoit's last stone here in the 6th end.
And a sea of red. And Benoit, they looked at many different options, deciding to draw through the little hole, the red rock on the center line, the other red rock to draw through. This is incredibly difficult. Need to get through that port. And it does curl enough. Now they need a side of the button.
Wow.
Well earned single point. Well done. 5-4 Switzerland.
Really good.
Wow, what a shot.
Wow. That fantastic. So back over to our feature game, Scotland, Japan. 2 center guards thrown by Team Japan, and Scotland coming deep on their first one and just top 4 on the second one.
Yeah, unfortunately, the 2 center guards are way too close together. Fairly simple double peel, so they kind of act like basically one guard, really. Would have liked that second guard way up by the hog line. Keep the maximum separation on a team that can hit as well as Scotland.
Yasamasa Tanita, he looks like they're trying to freeze to that shot that's sitting top 4. I think they have a pretty good idea what Scotland's going to do with those guards.
Definitely try to open up the front. So playing it a hair low, so going cross face.
7/8 is okay.
So going across the face of it a little bit. Hopefully open up the entire center.
Yep. Hard.
They're going to get a piece. Not quite, so only got rid of 1. Bit of a miss there. And now a chance to throw the second guard with some separation, at least higher than halfway, splitting center.
Again, the goal here for the end goal here for Japan is they would ultimately like to force Team Scotland to a single point and get that hammer back in that all-important 8th end.
Try to force again.
Did
a good job last time.
They did.
And then got the 2. And of course, it's fairly simple math. Force, deuce again to tie the game. Force, deuce to win. At least that's the theory behind it all.
It's a little better guard. It's still a bit tight, but nothing better than the previous one. What a shot by Bobby Lammy.
Yeah, just not a good enough center guard against the top team in the world. You need more separation, and so really, really good shot. That opens up the whole thing, and Team Scotland would be overjoyed, of course, if they could get a blank. Just like you draw it up.
Wow. Just to be able to throw that weight in so accurately. Fabulous shot.
Now trying a double right back.
Yes.
Should work.
All of a sudden, We had 6 rocks, and now we have none.
Yeah, and Team Scotland will peel this little wee one off, and there'll be nothing in play. And the reason Scotland's not coming around that one, you could think to yourself, well, that's a pretty good chance for 2 points. But it's all about the end they're in. They're in the 7th end right now. If you can imagine Scotland blanking this one, then they have the hammer in 8 and again in 10. So they get 2 hammers, the other team's 1. So you're 1 up with an extra hammer. So the odds of you winning the curling game go up dramatically if this blank is secured. Throwing this rock into the rings.
So for Japan, are they just conceding the fact that this is likely going to be a blank end?
I'm a bit surprised by this. I thought, why not throw a guard? I don't think Scotland would be going around it. You might even see Scotland peeling this thing. They might hit and stay because it's on a tee line, but you want to have any freeze made or anything.
Nice wait for control.
Yep. It's good.
Clean. Clean.
So as we finish off third stones here, it's pretty much straightforward. Just hitting back and forth. So we're going to pop over to sheet C next door. Canada with a 6-3 lead after that missed draw attempt by the Italian skip. And right now, Italy in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, so well, not too much trouble as far as getting a single point, but they're looking at the angles and seeing, okay, if we make that thin double, do you still make contact with the one in the house? And basically, the answer is 90 degrees. If those 3 red rocks are in 90 degrees, the triple's there. It looks to me like it's not 90 degrees. And if it's not makeable. Just the math. They're all round objects, so it has to be 90 degrees. It looks to me that it's not. So it has to be, I would assume, a hit for 1. I'm not positive, but I don't think you can make the triple and stay in the rings just because of the simple math. But the broom's in about the right spot to make the triple, so I can't. Not sure.
Where are you going with us?
Just hitting for 1. That is the right call after having a look at all potential angles.
I'd get rid of it.
Yeah. We're through anyway.
I thought we were just going to throw it through in the first place.
Wanting to hold this, though, does not want to roll too far. No problem. Good shot for a single point. So 6-4, but Canada now has hammer, playing an 8.
On our sheet, Bruce Mowat actually just had a wide open draw and actually just went through the rings. Just a little heavy.
Well, if you walk into his shoes for a second, the last thing you could possibly be is in front of the house.
Correct.
So you end up adding a little bit, and probably the right call anyway is just to throw it right through and not even worry about drawing. But this you don't want to throw through. So that's Bruce's wasn't that big of an error. That is, because now you get the automatic blank. Okay, so a blank it is. Bit of a bonus for Team Scotland.
And so the score remains. It is Scotland 4, Japan 3. 7 ends complete.
近めにはする。
Welcome back. You are watching live coverage of the BKT Tires and OK Tire World Men's Curling Championship 2021. Melissa Saligo here, joined by Olympian Kevin Martin, and we are in a tight game. Scotland over Japan 4-3, but Scotland has that very important hammer here in the 8th end.
Green. Green.
Very nice first center guard thrown. Definitely wanting to get two center guards situated on center line far apart this end. Try to give the best chance possible. You can imagine this end, Scotland would like to score, well, more than one, but even one, because then it's one hammer each and you're up 2 points. If by chance Team Japan can steal this end, now all of a sudden it's a tie game, one hammer each, anybody's game. So this is a huge end for Team Japan to get these center guards situated properly and get a chance to steal.
So just having a look around the Winsport Arena on Sheet A, we're in a 6-6 tie in the 8th end, Germany-Denmark. Over to Sheet C, Canada with a 2-point lead, 6-4 over Italy. And popping over to Sheet D, Norway with a 1-point lead, 6-5 over Switzerland. And back to our feature sheet again, Team Scotland with a 1-point lead in the 8th end here over Team Japan. So Kevin, are you surprised that they didn't throw the two center guards?
I'm completely surprised. Yes, I don't understand that. It makes it such a good hitting team, Scotland. You're kind of letting them a little off the hook. Could definitely make it life a little more difficult for them.
Like to go.
I didn't think so, Robbie.
Like to go a wee bit. Hurl. Pretty close. Hurl and go. Line's getting good. Keep it going.
Line's really good.
Trying to get this rock in front of the tee, but buried around the corner if possible.
Top 8 at least. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
That's completely buried. Well done.
Get there.
Just don't want to show half of that rock come down, chap, and you can actually roll into the 4-foot circle. So by being buried, forces Team Japan around the center guard into the somewhere in front of the tee line. Then you'll likely see a run back played to open up the middle.
Now, if you were Team Japan, I know we just talked about it, you know, it would have, we think, would have made sense for them to throw a high center on the second one. Would you ever do that now, or is it too late?
You certainly could. Be nothing wrong with that. You just know that Bobby Lammy, who's very, very good at running rocks back, is going to have a free goal. And that's a little bit scary if you're Team Japan. Because obviously the Rays could get rid of all the reds and roll to a corner if made perfect.
Nice shot there, top 4. We'll see how long it lasts with Bobby coming up here.
Yep. Hard. Oh, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Roll it again. Roll it again. That's fine. Great.
Oh, missed one.
Sorry, just kick tight.
Now you have to make a run and we're in a lot of trouble.
Throw that center guard again, and now that that yellow over around the corner is going to be very difficult for Team Japan to move. So good guards needed here.
There we go. That's good. That's good. Wait, what? Shinken. 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 Yes.
Just wanting it splitting center.
16.7.
Not too bad. Did leave a little bit of angle. You could either play hit shot stone or play the angle on the guard. Both would be no problem.
Okay.
You're high and out.
Probably only getting 2. That's okay.
raising the guard back.
Saw Bobby's release on that last, just in the last split second, Kevin. He just spun it kind of out of his hand and on the wide side, so that one didn't curl for him.
Yeah, he slid a little tight again, so it's just a little bit of mechanical issues there. 2 in a row, just not sliding exactly straight.
Air high.
Out of the hack. So you can see he's inside the line. So
already,
if he lets it straight, it's way inside. So puts it back, and when you're sliding crooked, it's so hard to get back on track. So it's just a couple of mechanical issues with those 2 throws.
So Tetsuo Shimizu with his first rock. 8 then, trying to split the center.
Yeah, this looks like a very nice guard. Yeah, perfect.
Nice shot.
And now it's, I guess, if Team Scotland wants to continue to be friendly and miss a couple more, but you know, this is something that Team Scotland's very good at. So I would expect one to be made here soon.
Grant actually did the exact same thing as Bobby did. Maybe just slid ever so tight, and then just tried to get it right back to the line and maybe put it out on the out path.
This is quite the thing we're seeing here. Another guard made, and at least a force is possible if there's another miss. Because even if Bruce were to make his first, you split the house, force is on. So one more try really for Team Scotland to make this shot.
Yeah, very unusual seeing all those half shots, and you can call them half shots, but they're trying to play the run, so they're technically half shots. Another great guard.
That's the best guard so far. It's perfect line and perfect depth. Makes the run back more difficult.
To watch where the rock is now and where Grant lets that go. You can see it just floating back across the center, a little closer this time. Not much.
Wow.
That was a great view overhead. You could just see the line of the path that the rock was taking. So you can see where he's lined up. And as he comes out, he's an inch over on the right-hand side, and he puts it right back, and it's crossing the center backwards.
Tough way to make a run back down the center, sliding off center and then putting it back up towards the line. It's makes it very difficult, and obviously just missed. So a chance here to throw another center. And now we're up to Skip's rock. So now this is a terrific opportunity for Team Japan if they could manage to make 2 more really good guards.
Line's good. Line's good. Okay, line's good. Get there.
You want it to stop.
Good spot. I don't think there's much choice. It's just, there's nothing you can do if you're Team Scotland. Just need to make one of these. Otherwise, you're going to be drawing the side of the button against 2 here in a minute.
High on the end.
Yeah.
Need to make this one.
Air less.
Looks like Bruce is actually taking the other turn.
That's a nice straight throw.
Very. That's going to be close.
Good shot.
Very good.
Great shot.
Nice mechanics. That one, you can see the rock didn't deviate off the line of delivery. That was a nice, straight, beautiful throw. The other ones, you could see the rocks were kind of dancing side to side, and that's not what you want. So really good toss, but still good chance.
Just going next door over on sheet C, Canada with a 2-point lead over Italy and has the hammer here in the 8th end.
Playing the whole end really open, and Team Italy actually made a beautiful bump and roll to the side of the forefoot on the last shot. So Brendan, instead of taking on the nose hit and roll in, taking on the thin double for a blank, ends up sticking it. Good double for 1 point. 7-4 now. Want to hit that a little bit thicker and spin the shooter out, but
No. Thick was bad. Nice. Good.
This card has a little more line than his previous one and actually a little bit more weight.
this looks quite heavy. Does not want
Does
to
not
leave a
want to be
double.
deep. Ooh.
Hard, hard.
Oh boy.
Well, there's no easy double, so it'll force Team Scotland into. Yeah, he's having to look at it, but it doesn't seem like enough
We've got to
room.
take the one, boys.
Huh?
We've got to take the one.
You think you have to?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I think we have to try and just take the easy one. Well, not easy, but.
You've got a good hassle inside it.
Yep.
Do you?
Yep.
What is the double?
It's so tough to get that going. Yeah. I really
Like
like
lots of room.
Back line?
I think you're even just back 4, Bruce. You don't
plenty.
really need to bounce it.
Okay.
You can just draw to it.
Look, I think you got enough.
Oh, you don't have much.
No? Half full inside?
Barely.
Half stone's probably not there. I think.
I'm just going to put my coaching hat on for 2 seconds here. And so you saw what happened there is Bruce actually called backline weight, and he put the broom down for where he wanted it. As he's making his way down to
Back 8.
the throwing hack,
Give us like a 14.
Grant was talking to him about throwing maybe just back 4. So he's actually made an adjustment in the broom position and the weight position. And Bruce was already down. He didn't go back down to have that conversation or to see it from his perspective. That's just a coaching thing.
Maybe reset to your thinking.
Exactly.
Reset the mind.
Line's fine. Line's fine.
But you can see how straight the ice is getting. So this was just back 8 foot weight, back 4 foot. And the broom was only 1 inch outside the edge of 4 foot. So this is quite straight ice now.
Line's great.
Weight's good. Hard.
Line's
Ice
great.
looks perfect here, though.
Right to it, right to it. Right
Just
to it,
needs
you're
to get to the button.
Hey, buddy. Good shot.
Very nice.
Lovely shot. So that's one more on the board for Team Scotland. It is now 5-3, Scotland over Japan after 8.
good. Right. Smarten up.
時間はねいっぱいあるからね。ちょっと大事にやろう。感じだったね。ブランク言ってたけど。俺としてはどっちの方がやりやすそう？割と追いかけてはいるから、取れるんだったら取っちゃった方がいいかなとは思うけどね。そう。うん。最後先行でもそんなに悪くなさそうな雰囲気はあるよね。ハウス来たらコーナーパッ。
Yep.
Good for tight.
And we are back for 9th end coverage of this featured game of Team Scotland versus Team Japan. Quite a tight battle. We weren't too sure there for the first half of the game, Kevin.
No, it looked like it was going to be one-sided, but then now all of a sudden you'd have to give the momentum a little bit to Team Japan right now. Last end had a really strong end, And Forrest could have actually maybe stole had the last draw stayed up in the top 4 foot, but came a little deep. You know, left Bruce Mode off the hook a little bit, and he made a beautiful draw tap. But pretty good momentum going here. So pick up a 2 or maybe even 3 points here. Of course, for Team Japan, they'd love to blank and then try to get the 3 coming home. A bit of a miss on the come around there.
Last through, I thought it was like a touch heavy, boys.
Line's good.
Yep.
So Hammy Mcmillan with his second stone here in the 9th end.
Line's really good.
Trying to go wide around the outside into the 4 foot circle.
Keep going.
The line looks excellent if the weight's
Getting
good.
Keep it going, Grant. Keep it going.
Nice sweep, boys. Nice sweep.
15-1.
Just live update over on sheet D. Norway with that 1 point lead right now. Line 1, I believe, Kevin.
Yes, on the last rock of Stefan Wallstad's, he was playing the in-turn draw to the top button and would probably steal a point. But that's the red rock at the back of the house, so misses the house and now gives Benoit a chance to come through the hole and at least get 1. I'm not... Oh, this is way tight, though. That was a hit for, I think, 2, but a disaster. 3 red steal. That's 9-5 for Norway. Must have picked up a little bit of debris or something.
Non, j'avais pas expliqué pourquoi. Moi, je trouve que c'est pas un jeu. J'ai rien.
Weight's good.
Clean. No. Oh.
Close. Weight's good. Curl. Hard good.
Yeah, they weren't too panicked on that Swiss shot out of his hand. And as you said, Kevin, halfway down just curled way, way too much. So
had to have picked something. That's such a good curling team, and not to have panicked. It must have been a good throw, and then just grabbed and took off. So just a bad break.
Back to our feature game here. 2 guards out front, and Japan looking to hit and roll underneath.
Trying to get a little roll here. This rock's hanging a little bit, though. Trying to entice it to curl. I don't know if it'll curl enough, though, to get the roll. It does not.
I don't mind the same weight, Bobby.
Don't mind the same weight.
Yeah, same weight.
Getting that deeper, but okay.
You're going big roll, so it's okay.
Solid attack.
There's the second comparisons. Bobby Lammy, 81%, really out curling Yasumasa Tanida this game, and you can just see the numbers telling a bit of a story.
Clean. Weight's good.
That's been basically the difference in the game so far, I think, at the second position. It's put Team Japan a little bit behind the 8 ball quite often. I want to roll into the rings here.
Right, Bob, that's fine.
That's just fine. Rolled a little bit further than intended, but did stay in the rings. This is when you have to decide, okay, what are we playing for this end? Are we playing for a blank, try to get 3 coming home? Do I come around the guard and maybe get 2 and give Scotland hammer coming home tied up? I know I would certainly prefer a blank rather than a 2. If Scotland were willing to give a 3, I'd take it and carry on home, but that's a lot to ask.
Okay.
5、安全、グリーン、67を5かな、67をだよ、ラインは。グリーン、ラインは5だよ。
ちょっとあるよ。
グリーン、
止まってきてるよ。
チェック、ラインは5。グリーン、グリーン、
あるよ。
グリーン。
That's fully buried around the guard.
I'm okay with the run.
Just because you can stick it.
Hey, you don't like the run?
Not particularly.
You can have to. But I think if you get to the nose of this, we're so good for force.
I'm okay with running.
Whatever you like.
Well, if you try the run back and say you don't make it, Team Japan goes around the yellow guard. When you hit, they hit and roll behind the yellow guard. If you miss the run back, it's 3.
And I think the team is just disagreeing on what shot they want to play here, so they've called a timeout.
Sorry, I couldn't see your hand.
You get inside freeze.
They have
nice.
1 60-second timeout.
Okay, what are they doing?
I know. I'm with you.
I kind of like the run, and even if I like half off high, they're still only good for 2.
Okay.
Like come here, and then they bump and release it.
That's true.
We're under a lot of pressure not to give up 3.
Okay, they're doing well bump
We
release
don't
here.
need a super roll
There.
because he will
So you're
hit
going
the
for
other
the nose
one
run?
anyway.
That's what I quite like.
Okay.
You know, if we get it wrong, we can have the 2.
Can't stop it though, but
Yeah, but okay.
You've played this exact line as well.
I know.
I like it.
we're trying to make it that way.
I kind of thought this way, but
Yeah,
what do
I
you
thought
think?
this way as well.
It's fine. Just be nice to avoid that, but if we don't, we don't.
I think this way is getting a bit risky.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And then you roll to a stagger's not great.
Exactly.
Round the nose.
So Bruce got outvoted, but is now on board with playing the run back.
Just a fraction.
Pretty much dead nose, aye.
David Murdoch, the national coach, just came out to have a conversation. Do you like this call, Kevin?
Sure. Yeah, make contact with the back one. And the freeze, if you make the freeze, great call. Tough shot. This one, even if you just peel everything off, you'll open it up. Looks pretty good, though. Ends up
Okay.
stuffing it behind. So interesting now.
Okay.
Right.
Wasn't really the air, was it?
Come around, and then it's another run back. But at least it's a yellow one coming back.
That's right, and they'll have no choice probably but to play the run back on the next one.
There's lots of rocks to come, though. You know, it wouldn't be wrong on this call, rather than come around and bunch your rocks up, to hit that back yellow on the nose. Because then, if you're, okay, now I'm Bruce. And you look at it going, wow, if I play the run back and miss, it's almost a guaranteed 3, maybe a 4, if you don't hit the back one. So I think if Team Japan would have hit the back yellow on the nose, Scotland would have hit it. And then later in the end, come around. So, because you always want to keep a blank in the play.
That's very, very true.
So another run back being tried here. A little better slide on that one. Still hanging though a little bit. No.
Okay.
A little better slide. Still mechanically not solid as a rock like you generally see, Grant.
And there's your percentages. Tetsuro Shimizu with the edge over Grant Hardy, 86-78.
Yeah, double nut.
Sorry, Bruce.
Yeah.
裏まで行くのかい？裏まで行くの？うん、行かない。ここ。
I don't think you want to hit the open one now. With your third's last stone, bury this one. I don't like that at all.
ガード打ったら絶対やってくるよね。
やってくるだろうね。それか一回構えとくからと思って。構え行くんならもうこっちから裏に取った方が。
Just going over to sheet A for an update. It is 6-6 tie in the 8th end. And there is a ton of rocks in play.
Incredible. Yes, almost every rock in the building is in this house. Let's have a look here. Trying to get to nose. That looks a little tight though. Early bump. It's one red in the middle of all that mess. So 7-6 now. Team Germany after 8. And that was an attempted double bump for 2. Didn't quite come enough.
仮にここ投げるじゃん。そしたら相手はこっち？もうそれしかないし相手。
相手はそれしかない。
They had called the guard, but it looks like they're going to have the team discussion here.
Well, let's think about this a little bit. Okay, if you throw the guard and maybe you don't even make the run back, you just peel it off. You're not going to throw a guard again because then it sets up the freeze. So then you're going to go around the guard. Now you got a simple double, and you're only going to get 2. Or you could come around to the top 8 now buried. Scotland makes a double. Fine. Come around again. Now you got 2 buried. Miss the run back. 3. I think you need to come around on this shot to keep 3 alive.
取るか相手しかし。
まあでも前から来るんじゃないか。いや前を見たら前から来ると思う。
Still lots of time remaining for both teams. Just over 6 minutes there for Japan, 8.5 for Scotland. With just an end and a half to go.
もう本当にここだ。
Yeah, Japan's got to feel a little bit more comfortable with that time left. Mike Harris and I did a game a day or 2 ago, and they had about a minute to play the 10th end. About a minute. It was the fastest curling I've ever seen.
That's difficult to do, though, when you don't have time to think about things.
So what was their final decision here? Guard?
With that ice, I doubt if you'd be able to bury around the rock. Looks like a little too much ice. Probably the guard. So maybe 3 feet out front of the house, something like that. They are going around, so that was a lot of ice for that shot.
That was a lot of ice.
But that's okay. They got into the rings.
4th shot.
Not too bad of a result, though. It does Team Scotland, if they do roll into the open a little bit, there is a double back on the other side to sit 3.
Yeah, true.
There's a really good look at it. It's definitely making Scotland think about which one to play.
Do you like this?
The problem is you stuff it and he makes a double, he sits 3.
Yeah, and we've got to make this double back.
He's like that, just knows this. He goes, he's close to stuff there.
Alright, make this.
Make a back one.
And then roll on top of his, and then I'll probably have to play a run with my last again.
It's tough.
There's your 4th thrower comparisons after 7 ends.
Oh, you can make that.
Bruce has a
But
10%
if you miss it, you hit set 3.
advantage over Yuta
Well,
Matsumura,
if you hit
83
that,
to
we can maybe double
73.
or maybe even freeze. But you have got enough for the double.
I think you're either making the nose double in this one, taking the back one, or try and slash that across the top if you can.
Don't like that, he's probably got the off double.
Yeah. Okay, let's make this then.
Try and roll it as far as we can.
Okay, Bruce. Even if you sit in front of it, I think you're okay.
Yeah, make that double.
Gonna have to make the run stick probably with my last.
You can take the one here at your 4 and take the back one if you want.
Yeah, you just don't want to stuff it.
Would you rather that, Bruce?
If you get a wide one then you got a possible double.
Take that. This one.
At what weight though?
Sorry?
What weight?
Normal.
Right.
I think it's really hard to stuff it on the winger.
Does he have to make a play in this? No, he's probably right.
The danger, of course, with playing the one on the button is if you ever wee-ticked the rock in the top 12. That is what they're playing. It's a good call, no problem, other than the danger of just ticking the front rock. And then it would be a hit to live 4.
Either.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd be curious or maybe tempted to play the one in the top 12 there and make a double even on the back one, right? It just looks a little safer right now. I mean, you really don't want to give up 3 here. I mean, you'd have Hammer up 1 width, or sorry, down 1 width. Wouldn't be the end of the world, but 2 width would be better, or tied width would be better. It's a tough shot.
Yep. Get it.
Nice shot.
Pistol.
Great shot,
Yeah, that was the problem with not getting that one buried. The one in the top 12.
Get it.
Boy, Bruce.
Great shot by Bruce Mowat. No
Beautiful
mistake.
Ah, boy.
右ノーズじゃダメなの。
そっちノーズと微妙
Well, I don't like the idea of nosing now because then maximum 2 points. And then you have to steal coming home. If you do come around now in the 4-foot, Bruce might play the double again, roll out, you can blank.
どう終わらせるかね。まあ狙わせて。
まあ打ったらジャングル可能性あるか相手裏へ投げて。
合わせて。
投げてもいいかも。
いいんちゃう？悪くないと思うよ。
フルフォーか？どこまでだい？6？どこまで？
フォーフット半分から半分だったらこれやられてもこっち飛ぶ可能性あるわ。
So having to look over on sheet D where Norway has a 4-point lead over Team Switzerland. Lots going on there. It looks like Norway line 1 perhaps.
Line 1 and Team Switzerland having a look at that angle raise. Potentially angle raise double for 4. Very difficult, of course. Beautiful come around on Team Japan. Excellent.
Great shot.
Sur un petit 5e, un 5e. Je dirais qu'un quart, c'est un poil trop.
So it looks like maybe playing the in-off, just trying to hit a very small amount of the yellow. Yes, trying to hit a little, just kind of a redirect onto the rock in the 4-foot and have the one in the 4-foot knock out the back reds, and this is a shot for 4. And worth having a go at it because, of course, you're 4 down. It's a fairly simple raise for 2. So a redirect.
Spin, spin. Allez,
It's close.
Oh.
Putain, trop fin. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Good luck. Good luck. Thanks. Thanks. Good game. Good luck. Good game.
So Norway takes that one. It's another steal. 10-5 final over on sheet D. Quickly back to our feature game here with Bruce Mowat. Selected to throw the draw, I believe, Kevin.
Yes, because he knows as long as he hits full 12 or better, will not give up more than 2.
On you go. Hard. To the end. Hard.
Good shot, Bruce.
Nice, buddy.
Good shot.
Good shot.
It's a very good shot. Almost completely buried.
Really good shot.
Drop a bit earlier,
So what does Japan have here now to get a multiple point score?
Well, certainly has the come around tap. You can see about 1 inch of that Yellowstone with the ice. Should be able to finish enough to tap it for 2. I don't see a shot at all for 3. Nice come around by Bruce Moen on that one. Big thing for Bruce there was just to make sure hit at least better than the top red one, and then you're safe to only give up 2. But excellent come around, so this is a tough shot for 2 now.
Clean. Clean. Up there. Clean. Clean. Hit it. Hit it. Clean. Yes it. Yes it. Yes. Clean. Yes. 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 Yes.
It's close, getting tight to that guard though. Oh, just kissed it.
It's a steal of 1 for Team Scotland. Japan had their opportunity, but it's 1 more on the board. For Scotland, 6-3 after 9.
Tired of hearing you guys saying nice shots. Keep them coming. Well, I'll try and make this one a wee bit easier for you.
You are watching the 10th end of the BKT Tires and OK Tire World Men's Curling Championship 2021, our feature match, Scotland versus Japan. Japan had a opening, just a small opening, after a great shot by Bruce Mowat to potentially get 2, Kevin, and just racks on the guard.
So close. You know, a really well played end actually, and had a reasonable chance for 2 points and tie this game up, but like you say, just curled a slight amount too much and ticked the guard, and now it's an uphill battle to try to get, but 3 is always possible, of course, with the 5-rock rule, and they need that to send this into extra ends.
Happy intern, if you want intern.
Hey. Yep.
Yeah, not hurting that. Never hurting that. Right to it, never hurting it.
You're fine, you're fine, you're fine.
Good, Ben.
Go high. It's the biggest pure weight he's ever thrown.
I know. See Bruce's pass there.
Yeah, when that rock came short of the rings for Team Scotland, it might not have been a bad idea for Team Japan to guard it. Because obviously as soon as you threw a corner guard, Scotland's going to get rid of that one because they don't want any guards in play. But you could have maybe got an extra guard by guarding that one. So
Do you like one right in the bottom or?
Don't mind.
Yeah. I know the end.
just don't end up having this thing a guard again, trying to play to the middle.
Yeah, just try and put it right in the bottom, boys.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So with those 2 corner guards, it looks like Bruce Lamy being asked to throw one just on the center line. Top 4, top button. Get one in good position.
Okay.
Close to being maybe.
She's really trying, but we're still heavy.
Where?
Take it right back. Or
Sits in the 8, it's okay.
Right.
stay Bob.
Lucky.
That one slips to
Okay, I
the
mean, then
back
what, draw?
12.
Which is not a big deal, as long as it's not short.
That's right.
don't leave it short of the ring. So now come around, come in around the tee line.
Green. 4. Line's good. 4 rock. Green. Okay. Green. Okay, Nana. Green, yes. Okay. Yes. 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 Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Oh, it just ticks the guard.
Good game. Yeah, good luck. Good game. Good luck. Good game. Good luck. Good game. Thanks. Good game. Good luck. Good game. Good game. Thanks. Hi, Hazel.
And a final score there, Canada taking that one 7-4 victory over Italy.
Yep. Go for 2/3. Hopefully it curls an inch.
Yeah, I think you're 3/4.
Yeah, but
Trying to go red across face onto the other side of the red to get rid of all 3 reds. This is the call. Both 3/4 will do it. Obviously, very difficult shot, but it's a little bit outside.
fine.
Not close.
Yeah. Feel a wee bit too safe.
But make sure of the peel. That's just fine. No,
You're gonna get slashed up anyway.
no damage done.
So
Okay.
it's fine. Pick to pin to them.
Moving into kind of cramped quarters now for Team Japan. It's a fairly tight guard. Every rock is close by.
Come on, 1個かどうか。どう？
後ろにフリーズもある？
え？
後ろにフリーズもある？
ここもフリーズもあるけど一応多分こっちの方が簡単なのかなっていう気はするけど。
あと1分40秒ね。ソシャカマじゃない？
They briefly talked about the freeze, but as Matsumura just said, as soon as you do that, Scotland walks up, runs both of those 2 red stones, and now you got nothing to hide behind.
Right, absolutely.
Yes. 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 鉄そのまま鉄そのまま。もちろんもちろんもちろんもちろん。Can you get either one?
Yeah.
No. Can you? But you can.
Just, yep.
So going the guard onto either one in the house,
2/3 might still fine.
preferably likely the top one. Taking on the double in the house would be not really a good call because they're in a straight line. You could double jam and leave the corner guard, and then a 4 is available. So this is the right call, hitting about 2/3 or so.
Okay.
So just jammed it. Oh, you might see a freeze on the back one.
You might have got 2 of them.
Playing the guard instead, that's fine. Needing to make a really good guard here, though. Make sure you cover the rock that's biting the top 12 foot.
That's right. That's definitely the key, right, Kevin? Like you have to protect. If you're going to throw the guard, you have to protect that top one for now. But it's going to be really tight.
Yeah, that's very tight.
Have a look.
Yeah, you've got a load
I think you're a thick half.
Thick half.
So now a double peel available. Well, peel the guard onto the biter. Get rid of both.
Yeah, I know it's close.
This is a very good idea. Grant coming down to make sure he has an absolute angle exactly where he wants to hit it.
Turn do you like? My thought was the end. I like the end.
Intern, yeah.
Intern has far more jump on the rock on impact.
Half stone.
I definitely agree. Outturn would be a little more of a dead
Yeah, 2/3 is fine
result.
on the end.
Yeah.
So intern, lots more spin.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
2/3 will get something decent.
No. Yep.
Hard, Tommy.
Trying to hit a half rock here.
Hard. Gotta go.
Hard, Bryce, hard, Bryce.
Go. Shot.
What a
Real good
shot.
I hit her.
Really good.
That pretty much cleans things up.
Great shot.
Great shot.
What a terrific shot by Grant.
You slipped there trying to get top, Bruce.
Yeah. Nearly face.
Yeah, perfect half rock, lots of spin, and then the rocks just jump. Well done. Perfect.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, throwing the freeze to the back one.
Bring. Yes. 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 Yes.
Just off nose. So pretty straightforward here for Team Scotland to make everything go away.
And they'll run them out of rocks.
Yeah, perfect.
Nose anywhere high.
Nice throw. Bruce is certainly throwing the rock nice right now.
He really is. Just such a pure thrower.
Nice and straight.
And
Well
a great
done.
shot.
Good game, guys. Good luck. Good game.
Really strong effort by the Scottish foursome, especially early in the game and the last couple of ends.
So Scotland running Japan out of rocks here in the 10th end.
Good game.
And they'll post a final of 6-3.
Good luck.
Oh, boys.
Good. Oh, boy, Bruce. Last few ends, Bruce.
Nice, boys.
Sonst hat nur nachher irgendeinen Run oder was?
As we head over to sheet A, one game remaining in session 14. Germany with a 1-point lead and Denmark with hammer.
Also es gibt zwei Varianten. Entweder den hier wegclearen, weil ich glaube nicht, dass er an den rankommt.
Clearing finde
Und wenn
ich
er
gut, wenn er hier startet.
Aber schau mal, schaut das mal an. Wir müssten dann halb treffen. Oder wir spielen den hier mit Hack einfach hier rein.
Ja, noch über den Außen für 2.
Ja. Ja, oder er probiert ihn so vereinen. Er hat auf jeden Fall eine Chance. Ja.
Ich würde mit Board spielen. Control.
Control. Gut. Du kannst ihn auch normal spielen eigentlich. Schau mal, du musst ein Viertel haben, dass er stufft.
Oder halt. Control finde ich super.
Okay.
Ich habe ihn gerade nur offen.
Control.
This is the last stone for the young German skip. Looks like Germany line 1. And he's going to attempt to remove that second shot stone.
Oh, oh. Nein. Nein, 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 nein. Sauber.
Dom.
Dom.
Halt, Dom!
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And makes the double, and Germany currently lies 3.
Frankfurt direkte.
Denmark has 1 rock remaining here. Final stone, need 1 to tie. And I think they're going to play
Tænker pil.
Vi skal blive derinde.
an in-off.
Vil hellere
Jeg
spille
tænker
9.
9.
Not an easy shot for sure. So an in-off on this rock that's just sitting on by the boards. Skip Mikkel Krause with his last stone, 10th end. Very, very high degree of difficulty. In off. And so close. But it is a steal of 1 for Germany. And the final score, Germany 8, Denmark 6.
Thanks, good luck.
Thank you, good luck.
Good luck. Mein Name?
War richtig gut rausgespielt jetzt.
Ja, war voll ausgespielt. Jetzt
Hast
hatten
du
wir das Glück der Woche. Davor hatten wir nichts, jetzt hatten wir es gehabt. Passt.
Gut.
Back to our feature game, Scotland, Japan. 6th end, Kevin.
Yeah, nice rock in behind that corner guard. So a wide open draw here. A well-played end by Team Japan and kind of turned the momentum around a little bit in this game. So well done. That's 2 points in the 6th.
So Japan climbed within 1, and we head over to the 8th end.
And this is a really good situation for Team Japan. That rock back button was actually the skip's last one, and had it been top button or top 4, could have been a steal of 1 or 2. Came a little deep, gave Bruce Moat, one of the best curlers in the world, a chance. And look at this beautiful shot. Comes in, taps a couple of inches, and that is a big 1 point for Team Scotland.
So 5-3 heading into the 9th. Japan had a great end this end, except for that last shot by Bruce made a pistol on his first one.
It really did, coming around the button, but still probably could see an inch of this. Needs to get by the guard tight for 2 points and tie the game. Ticked off the guard, and that was a huge steal, giving a 3-point lead to Scotland.
And after Scotland running Japan out of rocks in the 10th, it was a final of 6-3, Scotland over Japan. And here are the final scores, session 14. Germany defeats Denmark 8-6. In our feature, Scotland over Japan 6-3. Canada with a 7-4 win over Italy. And Norway with a decisive 10-5 win over Switzerland. And here are the standings. Norway still alone at the top, 7-1. Canada, RCF, Scotland, and Sweden at 6-2. Two teams, Switzerland, USA, 5-3. Italy still on that border at 4-4. And then you've got China, Denmark, Germany, Japan, and Korea, all with 6 losses, and the Netherlands with 1-7 record.
Bruce, congratulations on the big win. A really strong start in this game. Are you happy with how your team's playing right now at this point in the championship?
Yeah, we had a few hiccups there midway, maybe the last few ends as well, but you know, we started off really strong, and that's exactly what we wanted to do after the game against Germany yesterday. We stuck to our guns and we managed to keep our lead, so yeah, really happy to get that win.
Yeah, let's talk about the hiccups a little bit. Your team are known for being able to run rocks back, but today you had a lot of trouble with the run backs. I'd like to know, is it mechanical? Is it maybe the ice is a little tricky on run backs? Your thoughts, Bruce?
The ice is not moving at all at any weight, like up above barrier for us, so we just have to trust that we're throwing it well and give less ice. I think that's the main thing, and the guys are telling me that they like their slides and their throws, and I'm just going to give them less ice and hope that that's going to make contact with a few more runs.
You're right. You know, I did see you play some of the come-arounds, and you're giving just outside edge of 4. So that is a little bit straight for most championships that you've been in, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But our throws are quite aggressive in comparison to quite a lot of teams, and we know that. We ice for that, and we expect that the stones to be rubbed tonight, so hopefully it'll curl a wee bit more tomorrow.
Oh, so they are expecting, I did not know that, so they're expecting to rub them tonight, so thank you very much for a little bit of a tidbit
maybe,
there. And you have a big game later today against Switzerland. Your thoughts on playing the Swiss?
Yeah, I'm excited to play them again. We've not played them in a while, obviously, but yeah, it should be a really good game. The guys are, we've played with them at the Conti Cup quite a few times, so we know them well, and they're a great bunch of guys, but as soon as we step on the ice, we're going to try and beat them.
Well, sounds good. Good luck later, and good luck for the rest of the championship. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
On behalf of Kevin Martin, myself, Melissa Saligo, that concludes session 14 from Calgary, the World Men's Curling Championship.
Good last few ends, Bruce.
Thanks, boys.